Hello, America and everyone around the world. This is Stacy Bryan. Thanks for watching today's video. We really need to have everyone join the team. I hope you are subscribing. It's time. I've been waiting for this particular report to come out. It's called the Health Wealth Index Report. It ranks countries around the world from their freedom, 1 through 150. So this report's been coming out for about the last 8 years, but I started following it in 2019 when I came across it, following it ever since. And you're going to be shocked. I don't ever see this anywhere about how America is not even in the top 10 in the world for health, wealth, and freedom. How is that possible? The land of the free, the home of the brave, red, white, and blue, the flag. Uh, George Washington, Betsy Ross, American, as apple pie and baseball and Chevrolet. You know all the stuff and the things. To quote our wonderful current administration, who's our leader, talking about the Constitution, you know the stuff and the things. Well, here's what I know. The stuff and the things are we're losing our country. We're losing our freedom. We've already lost our land. You are not free. You don't own your land. I have people, I know elderly people in their retirement age, 70, 80 years old. Their homes are bought and paid for, okay? Bought and paid for, but they're paying land taxes every year. And if they don't pay those land taxes, they get asked a question. Do you want to stay here or do you want to live somewhere else, like in a van down by the river or on the sidewalks? We don't care, but you got to get out of here. Well, before I show you this health wealth index where America is ranked and where it started out in 2019, I'd like to do a short plug. Please go watch my video about Micah, my other prophets as well, but Micah especially. It goes in conjunction with this video. Because Micah's calling out the politicians for what they're doing and how they were acting, how they were behaving toward their people. All these prophets were doing the same thing. Well, they were telling the people, you're behaving badly. Yeah, they were. You're not acting right. But they were calling out the leaders because they were following the leader, who's the ruler, actually. The people were following who they were, just like today. Our politicians is a reflection of us. They're a mirror of us. They are who we want them to be, apparently. So now, to a great reveal, the 2022 Health, Wealth, Freedom Index, EcclesiaUSA version. So as we transition to this side, I just want you to know I want to pull up the website as well, so you can go look it up for yourselves. But I wanted you to know that we're doing. I have this in a Word document for us to review, but I'll show you where they come up with the information. And there's also great information about there how the world has lost its freedom. And granted, we just went through a pandemic, but we have lost our freedom around the world, but America especially. So here we are. This is where we started learning. This is where I started looking at this graph. And I want you to look where America is. So the top 10 is New Zealand, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Canada, Australia, Denmark, Luxembourg, Finland, and Germany, and Ireland are the top 10. The United Kingdom is 14th. The United States of America went to war against the United Kingdom to be more free than them. They have a king and a queen. I granted they don't do the laws and the rules. They're only there in whatever you want to call it, visually speaking. They don't do the rules or laws anymore. But still, they have a king, a queen. They have a monarchy. That's their democracy. That is a democracy. We are a free constitutional republic, and we are behind them, just ahead of Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea, and Chile. So now let's go down to 2020 and see where we ended up. 2020, you have again in top 10, New Zealand, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Denmark, Australia, Canada. Canada is freer than America. Canada, Ireland, Estonia, and Germany and Sweden are tied for 9th. Whereas America tied with the United Kingdom for 17th. Going down to 2021. The countries that took the top place again: Switzerland, New Zealand, Denmark, Estonia, Ireland, Canada, Finland, Australia. You can't even have guns in Australia, and they're more free than we are. Sweden, Luxembourg. The United Kingdom is 14th, and we're tied for 15th for Germany, Japan, and the United States. 2021, we haven't even cracked the top 10. 2022, it gets much worse, folks. The countries that are the top 10 places in the order were Switzerland, New Zealand, Estonia, Denmark, Ireland, Sweden, Iceland, Finland, the Netherlands, Luxembourg. Again, Canada is better than we are. Taiwan, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom is 20th. United States has fallen to 23. In 1 year, this is under our current administration, they fell 8 spots to 23. And we're down here with South Korea, Chile. I mean, people. And you can go here yourself. This is cato.org, but all you got to do is go look up Human Freedom Index, and then you can pick which year. Okay? So you scroll down here, and this is what they go: the rule of law, which we have so many laws on the books, but mainly because we're uncivil. This is the most uncivil country, one of the free countries there are. Security and safety, not as much. Movement, you have to show your ID everywhere you go. Let me see your papers. Let me see your papers. Religion, everyone has freedom of religion unless you are a Christian or a disciple of Christ. The Jews, Muslims, Hindus, everyone else has freedom of religion except if you are a disciple of Christ or claim to be a Christian. Association, assembly, and civil society. Again, we do not have a civil society. Association, assemble. If you go to a zoning meeting, if you go to a court meeting, if you go to any school board meeting, if you speak out, you will be arrested. Expression and information. We are hidden. Everything is hidden from us. We have no information. They've lied about the pandemic. They've lied about everything, all in the name of putting us in prison, in jail, because we want to be free. Relationships. We have very few relationships that we once did. We're all on our phones. Our heads are buried. We don't congregate anymore like we once did. Main reason we don't congregate in churches like we once did because of the somewhat 2 or 3 or 4 different gospels that are preached in one service. I was at a preacher. I was at his actual funeral, and there was 2 gospels preached during his eulogy by 2 different people. And I'm like, you can't have 2 different gospels. There's only one. Size of government is out of control. We are completely out of control. Our federal government is extremely too large for what it does. It's outstepped its bounds. Everything should go back to the state if it is a state issue. Legal system and property rights. Your property can be taken away from you at any moment now since they've instituted the Patriot Act of 2001. So thank you again for 2001 and the Pentagon and NORAD for protecting our skies, because we lost our property rights because you did not do your job and protect the skies. And the CIA and the FBI, I'll say the same thing. We had the Patriot Act because you didn't do your job, which was find these hijackers and what they were up to. You probably could have walked down the hall and asked a couple people who these guys were, and they would have told you. But we'll keep that under wraps. Sound money. We have paper money. We are no longer on the gold standard, which means they're just printing monopoly money, and we believe it. We believe that that is real money, and a 20 is a 20, and a 50 is a 50, and a 100 is a 100. The only reason we believe that is because that is all we have for to share. That is all we have to pay our debts and to give to one another. But it is not backed by anything. We're no longer on the gold standard, mainly because the Democrats in the 1930s, Roosevelt stole our money, made it illegal from 1930 until 1970 actually for Americans to own gold. So now we know why we're not in the top 10 of freedom. Freedom to trade internationally. Well, of course we can do that because we are one world order now. We have one banking system, which means they rule the world. Regulations. We are the most regulated country of a free country or a claim to be free country that there is. So explain to me how we're going to keep going on if we keep doing the same things over and over again. Now, there's something in here that's interesting of this last report. Not just in America. Here we go. Not just in America, but this is around the world. The sharp decline in freedom in 2020 comes after years of slow descent. In comparison of the jurisdictions of which we have the same data available since 2000, a high point of a freedom occurred in 2007. We peaked around the world in 2007, which then saw a steady decline. They were like, uh-oh, we've got too many people becoming free. A period of 2019, a decline. A period during which 78.6% of the world's population experienced a fall in freedom. A subsequent precipitous descent in 2020 affected every region of the world, including rich and poor countries and democracies and non-democracies, setting global freedom to a level far below what it was in 2020, previously the lowest point in the past 2 decades. We've hit our lowest in the last 2 decades of freedom. Yeah, we're losing our freedoms right after 9/11 and around the world. And one more thing, and here's another thing I'd like to share with you. So for anyone who wants communism, jurisdiction in the freest quartile enjoy more than twice the average capital income of those in other quartiles. There's your difference. $48,000 is the average if you're in a free society, and $23,000 if you're in a second-tier society. This is where we are. We're in this region here because we're falling to this direction in the other quartiles. On the average, the freest jurisdictions in the world have a much higher per capita income than those that are less free. The HFI also finds a strong relationship between human freedom and democracy. Well, we are a constitutional republic, so we should be the most freest. We should be the most freest country on this planet, without a doubt. But why do we not? Well, I just want to know what information, what data would it take to convince you to share and subscribe and sign up for EcclesiaUSA. This is your out. This is your voice. You're going to have a place to speak, to comment on, share videos, create your own, share them with me. Tell me what you're seeing in your country, in your county, your community, your government. Share it with me. My email is on the website. You can contact me direct message, share videos, and we'll discuss it. I'll share the videos that you share with me and comment on them. Tell me what's going on in your community. Are your civil service and your civil leaders doing what they're supposed to be doing? We own this country. I'll wrap it up with that. We own this country. We are not taxpayers. We are investors. Again, a wrap-up. We are investors. These politicians are ruling us, not leading us. They're doing nothing to lift a hand to take the burden off of us. While they're up there with their 30, 40, 50, 80, 100, one congressman is worth almost $300 million, a Republican. If you have the rich ruling the poor, they have no concept of what it is to be an average American living in this country. If you're making $200,000 a year as a congressman and you're worth $1, $2 to $300 million, you do not know what the average man or woman is going through. When they have a flat tire, how are they going to get that tire fixed? The alternator goes out. How are they going to pay for that alternator fixed so they can go to work? These people have no clue how it is to live in a day-to-day life in this country. They're living like kings and queens and rulers, not leaders. I will lead us into the 3000s. Because that's where we should be heading, planning for the future, not trying to keep us in a school system that was created in the 1850s, the 1700s. You go to this little box, and here's a teacher, and here's some books. In your hand is the most knowledge that you could ever ask for. The question is, what are you doing with that thing in your hand, that computer, that cell phone? Are you looking at porn? Are you watching YouTube all day about information that'll make you wiser, smarter? Or are you watching something that'll dumb you down? This is all about education, sending our kids to that box school up there to be bullied, to be pressured, have their minds twisted. Isn't anything that my taxes currently are paying for. Schools can be done differently if you have a leader instructing you on 7 different scopes of a path for your kid to do homeschooling at home or in a group or a local assembly. We don't have to keep doing it the way we are. I've already described there's a better way to do healthcare. There's a better way to do education. There's a better way to do our retirement. There's a better way to govern. Please listen, watch the rest of my videos, and tell me what you think. Tell me where I'm going off base. Tell me where I'm wrong, where I need to be smarter, or think of this, or think of that. I just know right now what the Lord has given me, the knowledge and the wisdom and the platform, the blueprint of how to do this. And where we're going is further down this graph from freedom. As I said in the previous video, or as I said previously, my American government teacher told me then, Mr. Shoemaker, he said, one day we're going to cross to where communism countries are going freedom and we're going more communist because we don't know how to live within our own means of love and care and sharing for one another, not robbing, stealing, envying and lusting for our neighbor's stuff. That's what the Bible's about. If we don't do those things, the burden of this earth is reduced. Stop lying, stop cheating, stop stealing, stop driving like a maniac. Stop fighting people in Walmart streets. Stop fighting people in the parking lots over a parking spot. Stop fighting people. There's people losing their lives. Children are losing their lives because the grown-ups are fighting that one person cut the other one off. This is where we are in this country. We are a mirror to our leaders. We're all on the take. We want everything. It's about us. Share, care, giving. That's what's in our Bible. That's what Yeshua taught. That's what Yahweh taught in the Old Testament, regardless of what you've heard or been told of how mean and angry the old God is. Yahweh is love, caring. He is peace. It's us who are corrupt to the core. Now, which group are you going to follow? Republicans and Democrats who've put us here, who are worth millions to billions combined, and still telling us they want more, they need more, sending our money around the globe when we can't even take care of ourselves? Are you going to continue to vote for that? There's a better way. And I want anyone who's wanting to run for council in their hometown or governor in their hometown, be an EcclesiaUSA politician who will not lie, who loves Yahweh, who will follow Yeshua's guidance. Let the Spirit of the Lord guide them over the people. Read Romans 13. Our leaders should be leading us. They're not there to be overbearers. They're there that we all live in harmony. But if they're not doing it, how the heck do they expect us to do it? They rob, they cheat, they steal, they lie. The people that voted for them rob, they cheat, they steal, they lie. Taxes, they force us to lie about our income. They force us to, so we don't have to pay so much taxes. In my administration, in my way, my blueprint that's been given to me that I'm sharing with you, we want to give our percentage because it makes us a strong nation. And that is what is in our Bibles. How to become a great, strong, God-fearing nation, which is how we got to where we were. But again, watch my video about Micah, because it didn't start in the present day when Micah was talking to them. It started back with Jacob and his regressions. So how did it start with us? It started in the 1850s. Started in the 1850s. I have another topic of that and why. Join me. Join me in this walk. We're not fighting. We don't have to fight. We don't have to lend our guns. We don't have to rush the Capitol. We don't have to do any of that. The January 6th people, they all knew. If you were there on January 6th, I told you, I was telling people 3 years prior that this was going to happen. One of Donald Trump rallies was going to be the cry for the Democrat Party to go, look who they are. They're insurrectionists. These people are wild. They're out of control. They love guns and blah, blah, blah. It's 2018. I was telling that, and it happened. The same people that marched Yeshua in front of the Sanhedrin and accused them of crimes. It's the same people. They don't want to lose their power. They're money hungry. Mostly power hungry. And they've affiliated themselves with the world powers around the world. We are one world order. And how long are we going to survive? Please repent, believe. Let's have the revival we need, but let's have it on a global scale. Let's have it at least in America and then on a global scale. Go to your courthouse. Go outside. Raise your hands. Pray it. Pray for them. Pray for these politicians. They see the light. Join me. Join me in this walk. EcclesiaUSA. Praise Yahweh. Thank you, Yeshua.